Welcome to the Every Brain is Different podcast. Lauren and I are here with Samantha. And Samantha, will you please introduce yourself? And we are here for parent consulting. So let us know what you need help with or what your question is.
He just turned 5. He is diagnosed autism level 2. Lately, and honestly, for all of his life, he's been a very aggressive little kid. Even when he was like 1, if something wasn't going his way, he'd start bashing his head into the ground. Lately, now that he's bigger, it's honestly really starting to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been looking for different ways to, in that moment, help him out more. Because when he gets to that point, it happens like this. And you could see my son leave his body. There is no connection to him anymore. And then the other thing we've been facing a lot lately is lying. And it's both about the silly and normal stuff that 5-year-olds lie about, but he told us that his school left him outside by himself for hours. When really he raced and pushed the other kids out of the way, so they told him he had to go to the back of the line and go in last. So he was outside by himself for maybe 10 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So if you had like a crystal ball and you could tell the future, what would you want your future to look like with this situation in 6 months?
So I would like, I don't mind that he gets mad. I don't mind that he gets angry. I don't like that he hurts other people. So we've been working really hard on if he feels like he needs to hit something, we have a pillow. We have a safe place he can go to, and he can go pound on that all he wants. As well as learning like lying about stuff like that can get him and us in very big trouble. We've had CPS called on us because of lies he's told others.
Oh,
So
wow.
just realizing
Yeah.
just like the magnitude of what he's doing. I know it's a lot for a little guy, but he can't tell people like grandma hits him.
Yes, that is not okay to do.
Yes.
That does cause a lot of issues. Okay, so I have some suggestions, some things that we can work through, see how you feel about it. With the aggression, have you used social stories to show Johnny is sad, Johnny is mad, this is what Johnny can do when he's mad, and just have you ever used social stories before?
We've tried it before when he was younger. We haven't tried
Hmm.
it now that he is a little bit more aware of the stuff
Yeah.
around them.
Yeah. So there are like things that you can do to make social stories, and I would suggest maybe putting his name in the story and then letting him draw the pictures. Does he like drawing or anything like that?
He's not a huge drawer or color.
Okay. Yeah.
If I can get him stuff to like glue,
Yeah.
like popsicle figures and like a pom pom to make a person, he would do that. He just isn't
Yeah.
good with coloring.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great idea, just to get things like more hands-on things that he can do, the physical things, and then maybe read some stories about what other people can do when they're upset and then go from there. If you use the Dan Albert books, they teach like about happiness, about sadness, about anxiety, anger, love, and calm. And you can teach about all those different emotions. So if he's showing his frustration, he might not understand any of the emotions. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't understand what's coming into his body, and so he doesn't understand what to do with that, and so that gets him frustrated.
So he's pretty good with his emotions.
Okay.
He's been in developmental preschool since right when he turned 3, so he's going in almost his
Hmm.
third year of it.
Hmm.
And there are times where he looks at me and I'm feeling so frustrated. And I'm like, okay, buddy, let's figure out a way together that we can help you with that. Or you
Yeah.
can feel it's okay to be frustrated. I get frustrated. But even his teacher says is that sometimes it's out of the blue. He'll be sitting there for circle time and a kid will walk past him and he'll just whack him across the head.
Yeah.
And the
So,
teachers, I don't it's very I just feel like he has a very, very small cup. So
yeah.
like if his sock isn't fitting right and then it's a little too loud in the classroom and then that kid blocks his view in that split second,
Yeah,
he's
that
already
makes
off.
sense. That makes sense. And so maybe just getting a little bit more curious about what's going on right before he does something. So, like you said, it might be just a bunch of different things, and his cup is small, and so he can't accept a lot of different unexpected things coming at him. And so maybe helping him learn, hey, when your sock is too itchy or your sock isn't fitting right, come and tell me and then we'll solve that. And so he's like more aware of what's
Where
going
they
on. So before it builds up and he gets frustrated, then he can take care of those things before they get too frustrating for him.
and then the way he's acting has really been amping up. So there's been two incidents in the last week where his sister and him are in the middle of a fight, an adult handling it. And honestly, this last time he was in the right. So I was talking to his sister, letting him know I'm not going to take the toy away from him. We have a timer going. It's got to wait your turn. He came over and knocked her to the ground, grabbed her head, and started banging her onto the ground,
Yeah.
like just straight at her head. And so I told him like that could really hurt. She's 2. That could really hurt your little sister. And he's, I don't know why I'm like this. I'm so sorry. And then we work on healing the situation. He has to go out and check on her, ask her what he can do to make her. He's really good at the steps for like repair afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like he was happily playing with it. It was like one of those little drawing tablets. And
Mm-hmm.
then next thing I know, he was just on top of her. And I wonder if
Yeah.
maybe it was like too loud for him or
Yeah, and so getting him to recognize like what's going on in his body before it gets to that point might be something to start with, where you're like, "Oh, it's too loud in here. I need noise canceling headphones," before it gets too loud and his shirt has a tag in it and
yeah.
the lights are too bright. So like fixing one thing at a time, so helping him recognize, like maybe do body checks, like how is your body feeling right now, and just even do a body check when he's not feeling upset or anything, and you
Hmm.
can just say how is your body feeling, and then he can pause, and then maybe his sock is not fitting correctly, and so you can fix the sock and then move on because now you've
Or that little bit out of
fixed
the
that
cup.
thing
Yeah.
and you poured a little bit out of the cup, exactly. And so now he has more of a tolerance to handle things when unexpected things happen. But I would suggest maybe just starting with that body check and then doing body checks every once in a while, even when he's totally fine. It sounds like you were saying before that his tolerance is just low. And so when things build up, he can't handle it and then he reacts in that way, especially considering like how he feels afterwards, like he doesn't mean to do it. And you were saying you could just see him leave his body basically.
Yeah.
And I have seen clients do that. I've seen my own kids do that. And so you're not going to reason with him in the
No.
moment of the frustration. And so our job is to catch it before it escalates too much. And so I really think maybe trying the body check-ins to make sure everything's okay. Is it too loud in here for you? Are the lights too bright? Is your shirt okay? And ask him questions. Don't just be like, "Oh, how does your body feel?" Because then he
Be
might be
very
like, "Oh yeah,
specific.
it's fine, and let me get back to
Yeah.
what I was doing," you
Right.
know? Yeah, yeah. So, how does that feel? Is that something that you feel comfortable trying?
I think so, yeah, and we've noticed lately, like, he's starting to get more verbal, like, his shoe, like, the tongues of his shoes have been driving him nuts,
Mm-hmm.
and so once he realizes that's down in his foot, then his shirt collar is too tight, and then his pants are too itchy, so we got him.
Spirals.
Yeah. So we've been trying to catch him before it even spirals, like, "Okay, buddy, I notice your shoe tongue is falling, let's get that fixed for you."
Yeah, yeah. And so,
Um, get him also to recognize it himself, not just 'cause I'm
yeah.
not I'm not always with him.
Yeah, yeah. And so just going over that, hey, maybe check in with your body every once in a while, seeing how it feels. And you can even tell his teachers maybe every half hour, do you want to ask him how his body's feeling? Or every hour, just say, hey, how's your body feeling right now? And just because I know in my son's school, his teacher would just check in with him about his work, like, how are you doing on your work? Because he's like in fourth
Mhm.
grade. So she just goes by, how's it going? How about you do these three problems right here if he gets too overwhelmed with the whole sheet? And so they can just go by and say, "Hey, how's your body feeling? Is it too loud? Is it not loud enough? Or can you hear okay?" Like all those different things. And they don't have to it doesn't have to be like minutes long. It could be like a
Yeah.
30-second check-in and then he could be like, "Oh, well, my shoes aren't fitting correctly, the tongues are down.
Hmm.
And then because a lot of times, like, it's unconscious things that we're processing.
Yeah.
And then when the kid walks by, and that's the one thing that pushes him over the edge, so then he's going to push the kid because all these other things are going on under his radar. Hey everyone, Samantha here, and I'm thrilled to invite you to join me for something special, the Parenting Power Hour. This is your chance, parents of neurodivergent kids, to bring your questions directly to me and fellow parents in the room. We're here to help you develop actionable plans that really work so you can finally stop the meltdowns and find peace in your home. As a mom to 3 kids with ADHD and autism, I've seen and been through the challenges too. So trust me, we'll find solutions together that fit your family. Don't miss out on the Parenting Power Hour. It's a free online monthly gathering every second Thursday of the month from 12:45 to 1:45 Mountain Standard Time. Visit everybrainisdifferent.com to reserve your spot today.
In addition to that, because sometimes it sounds like it's a lot of sensory things, like having a visual aid of a body like that's stressed, and so you can pinpoint, okay, is it these shoes? Is it the shirt or the collar that's itchy? And having that in addition when doing those like body checks, I think could be
Right.
helpful as well, because then he has a visual aid too, as a reminder of things that have bothered him to check
Hmm.
on those things.
Yeah, we've noticed because he also goes to the bathroom. Like, there's one day I counted in a 3-hour period. He went to the bathroom pee 40 times. And we've ruled out everything medical at this point. It's just something behavioral as far as we can tell. But I think the second he realizes he might need to pee, he just takes himself and goes. And so I think even like checking him, hey, can you hold this a little bit longer, or do you need to?
Yeah, just checking in to be like, okay, you need to pee, but do you really need to pee right now?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And it's funny because we notice if he's going to the bathroom a lot, we're having more behavioral issues. Like, it's just probably all tied in together.
Mm. Yeah, kids that are neurodivergent often have that interoception that's either way more than their peers or way under. So they either feel their insides a lot more or they don't feel them as much. And so that's
Mhm.
part of going to the bathroom is he probably feels it way before a typical person would feel it. And so then it bothers him because he's,
Yeah.
oh, I have to pee. So that makes sense of why that would happen. But that's so
Yeah,
frustrating for him.
you're right. He was really
If
easy to potty train.
yeah, yeah, I bet.
He hated the feeling of being wet. He never has had an accident.
Mhm. Yeah. But that makes sense that because that could be going on like he realizes he has to pee and then his shoes aren't right and then just everything builds from there. That's just another thing that might make him frustrated and yeah. So moving over to the lying, I had a few thoughts. And once again, it's just getting curious because I don't know
Mhm.
what's causing it, but
I
just
have
getting
thoughts too,
these
honestly.
are these are some things that I would thinking. It sounds like he might just be wanting the attention from the lie. And so really that's called negative attention seeking
Hmm.
behavior. And so if you can just really like pile on the positive connection or
Yeah.
positive attention, and then when he does tell the truth, like even if it's over a small thing, like you ask him how his day was and he told you how it was, be like, oh, thank you so much for telling me the truth. And just really
Hmm.
building on that and then building on the positive connection activities. And so spending quality time with him, really giving him your attention when he's with you. And I'm not saying you don't give him quality attention.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you don't give him
No,
quality
but
time, but
my
just,
perception of it's different than his
yeah.
perception of it.
Yeah. Like he might be thinking, oh, you spend a lot of time with my sister, or you spend a lot of time doing this, and I want more of your attention. And so just thinking about different ways that you could increase the positive connection activities, because I really like the old way of saying it was attention seeking behavior, and now it's
Hmm.
connection seeking behavior. So really, he's not just wanting your attention, like he wants that connection with you. And he might be seeing it in a completely different way than you see how you're giving him attention.
Hmm.
So that was one of the things. What were you thinking, Lauren?
So I kind of dug into this morning a lot, actually, uh and you mentioned in the profile sheet that you potentially suspect ADHD. And all of my research kind of led to that specifically with children, because a lot of times the autism diagnosis, it's not like the lying isn't necessarily a really big trait in that
Mhm.
diagnosis. But I kind of looked into that might be kind of part of that as a potential. So just something to like kind of keep in mind. But a lot of the things I read, in addition to that attention seeking, it's also like a fear response. And so, like you kind of mentioned, like he lied and said that his teacher left him outside. Well, the truth was is that he did something naughty and then got sent to the back of the line. And so it might be the fear of that punishment or whatever that might be of I did
Mhm.
something naughty, so now I'm gonna tell this lie to get out of it. But my boyfriend has severe ADHD, and I asked him when
Mhm.
he was a child, "Did you do these types of things?" And it was a resounding yes.
Mhm.
And a lot of it was a fear response or a trauma response. And I'm not saying that he has like a specific trauma or whatever, but just something to like maybe think about and keep in mind with the
Yeah, I've been
lying.
trying to really pay attention to like when he lies and what's the whole picture. So that would make sense because like the other night, if they've been good for sitting, if they sat at the table to eat most of their dinner, they get a piece of candy. Well, he chose not to eat his dinner that night, so he didn't get a piece of candy. So he came running to me because dad was the one handling him. He came running to me and said, "Daddy said I could never have candy again. Can you get daddy in trouble?" And I was like, I could hear the conversation there, buddy. Daddy didn't say that. Daddy said he can't have candy tonight. We can try again tomorrow. But it felt like he was trying to get his dad in bigger trouble. So I wouldn't realize that he was the one in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that I like, Lauren, what you said about understanding the why behind the lie. So is it to get other people in trouble that he's mad at? Because maybe he was mad at his teacher when she put him at the back of the line, and so he wanted to get her in trouble. He wanted to get his dad in trouble. Or is it a fear of punishment that he's going to be punished, and so he's going
Mhm.
to lie because he doesn't want to be punished? And then there's anxiety. Did he actually hear you're never going to have candy again, or is that just what he
Yeah.
thought when he was told you're not going to have candy tonight? Maybe there was anxiety that, oh, I'm never going to have candy again, or something like that. Or was there a fear that he was going to be left outside when he's in the back of the line, that someone was going to forget about him? Or I don't know. Anxiety is wild. And then the way that kids perceive what we say is
Mhm.
sometimes totally different than how we perceive what we're saying. And so with the lying, I would just get curious and, like you're doing already, look for patterns. And when he's doing it, is he lying when maybe you haven't been paying attention to him as much as you normally do? Or
Mhm.
is he lying about things that he's done so he doesn't get in trouble? Hey, my teacher left me outside. Or was he afraid that you were going to get him in trouble because he did something he wasn't supposed to and then got sent to the back of the line? Is it anxiety like we talked about before? There's so many different things. So yeah, just looking at the patterns like you're doing, and then if you want more help, like after you look at the patterns and you see something, definitely you can contact us again and be like, hey, this is what I'm noticing. Give me your thoughts or whatever.
Mhm.
And we would be happy to do that. I think right now it's just like gathering information to figure out the why behind the behavior. Because, like we've said a lot on this show, there's always a why behind the behavior. Like kids don't
Yeah,
do things just to do it. So, yeah, that's what I would invite you to do. How does that feel?
that feels good.
Okay, cool. Do you have any other questions or anything else we can help you with, or yeah, any of that?
Not at this time. We have a ear, nose, throat appointment coming up because his tonsils are super swollen.
Oh
So we're
no.
hoping we're hoping when he starts getting better sleep, some other things will like
Yeah,
overall improve. So
yeah,
he's a fun kid. He really is.
yeah.
He's I've been trying to train myself to see the good, not just the hard parts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so easy
Yeah.
to focus on
Mhm.
the things that are hard, but I've noticed with my middle kid, he's really hard for me. we just clash a lot. And I think it's
Yeah.
because we're so much the same. But I was thinking about him the other day and I was like, he's such a cool kid, but he has these meltdowns all the time that I'm like, oh, they're so hard. But he is such a cool kid. So I totally understand that. But yeah, but thanks for coming on today. And I hope
Yeah.
we're able to help you a little bit and let us know,
Thank
give us an
you.
update, let us know how it goes.
Yeah, I will. Thank you guys.
Okay, thanks.